If the internet says it's true, then it's true, right? Just more planty goodness, which is, I mean, ideal for all of us, I think. This solves the problem, doesn't it? Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma, and today I'm going to talk about my top 5 tools for houseplant owners. So what I think all houseplant owners should definitely have in their repertoire of tools. Also, I just wanted to say that these are my top 5 plant tools. I don't know if they're gonna be everybody's top 5 plant tools. Everyone's different. So if you wanted to know mine, here they are. And if you wanna know someone else's, go ask them. But watch mine first. So yeah, let's get into it. So I will be sure to link all of the tools that I will be showing you today down in the description box. So if you wanna get the exact ones that I got, head down there because I got some good stuff. So go down there and check it out. So before I tell you all of my tools, just want to say if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up down below and comment on other things you'd like me to talk about planty wise, and subscribe for more videos. Oh, and go follow me over on Instagram if you're not already, because then you get to see my plants all the time, which is like super fun for all of you. So yeah, go check me out over there. Right. Let's get to it. Tool number 1. My number 1 tool that I think all houseplant owners should have is a watering can. When I didn't have loads of houseplants, I thought, oh, I could probably get away with not having a watering can. Does it really matter? I can just pour it out of a measuring jug, blah, blah, blah. Basically, no. Once I decided to get this watering can, my life improved drastically. Like, 1, it looks freaking gorgeous, so I mean, how can you be upset with that? But also 2, now I can actually get precisely into my plants with this nice spout here, so I'm not worried about like getting water everywhere because it goes in the place I put it, because it's got this nice precise little tip thing right here. Also, sorry for light changes. ISO can only do so much for a semi-cloudy, semi-sunny British day, so sorry for the light changes. I can't do anything about it because weather. Where was I? Oh yeah, precision tip right here. So I mean, I decided to get this one off of Amazon because I thought it looked really nice. I thought I wouldn't mind if it was sitting on my shelf, just hanging out, looking pretty among my plants. It's got this fun round handle, nice sleek silver aesthetic, and it holds a liter of water, which I mean isn't a whole lot in the whole houseplant business because I've got what, 60 houseplants and all of them need water, so 1 liter isn't a whole lot, so I do have to refill it every once in a while, but I mean that's something I can handle. This watering can was $19.99 on Amazon, and I know like it's a little bit steep, but call it home decor and it's cheap. So take it. Number 2. So the next tool that I think that every houseplant owner should have is a spray bottle. Most houseplants, aside from like cacti and succulents, like a quite high humidity. They're from tropical lands far away, and British summertime isn't handling it with the humidity. It's not humid enough for most plants. So we here in the UK resort to misting our plants. That adds a little bit of extra humidity. I know that science says that maybe that's not a thing, but I'm pretty sure it is because I've never had a problem with just misting my plants. I've never had to like get a humidifier or anything, and I mist my plants most every day. So I mean, it must be enough because I'm sure my house isn't humid enough for the tropical climate that these plants need. So spray bottle, super handy. I also use spray bottles for my pest control solution. It is a neem oil solution, and I have that in a bottle of 2. These fantastic, beautiful glass ones are from a brand called Koishi, who very kindly gifted them to me, which is great because I just ruined my plastic one that I had by accidentally putting too hot of water in it, because for neem oil solutions, you need to put warm water in instead of cold water, otherwise the oil doesn't really mix very well. So I kind of ruined it by pouring too hot of water in it, but don't have that problem with glass because it's glass. It's not gonna just melt and get all warped from warm water. These ones are honestly fantastic. The spray on these is super fine. It's just like a nice mist floating around the room. You don't want one of those spray bottles that like shoots a sharp line at the plants, because I don't think the plants are gonna like that very much, to be honest. It doesn't sound very fun for anyone. Also, they're more sustainable than plastic because they're made with 45% recycled glass, and the heads and stuff, though they're made of plastic, are completely recyclable. So that's really good. They just look so nice on the shelf as well. Before I got this one, I was using this, which, I mean, does the job. It did what it needed to do. It sprayed the plants. But I mean, if you're looking for aesthetics in your home, I didn't want to put this out on a shelf because I didn't think it looked very nice. But this, I totally don't mind putting out on a shelf. So I mean, it's better. It makes the whole house plant, home aesthetics, decoration thing meld into one and just work as a team, which I think is much better than trying to hide away all your planty things because they don't look that great. So yeah, this is totally fine, but I think this looks prettier. So I'll pick this any day. These two here are 300 and a 500 milliliter. This one I think was 9 pounds and this one is 11 pounds. So they're not terribly expensive in like the grand scheme of things, but it is more expensive than like a 1 pound spray bottle from Poundland. So whatever floats your boat. I prefer decor than plastic anyways. So gonna go with that. Number 3. So the third thing that I think that all houseplant owners should have is this. This is a moisture meter. So basically, this is freaking essential if you're gonna have houseplants, because we don't want to overwater our houseplants. Overwatering leads to all kinds of problems, mostly root rot and death. So ideally, we don't want to overwater our plants, but we also don't want to underwater our plants. We want to water them the exact right amount. And this tool helps us do that. You just stick it in the soil in a few different places in your plant and just a couple inches down to like all the way to the bottom, depending on the plant. And it will tell you how moist the soil is. There's 3 different sections. There's a dry section, a moist section, and a wet section. Now, I only water my plants if it's in the dry section. Before, I could have been watering when it was moist and not even knowing because I just didn't understand the ways of plants. But now, this tool has helped me succeed. So I got this one off of Amazon probably a couple years ago now. When I got it, I think it was around 5 pounds. This seller isn't selling anymore, and I found one that was basically exactly the same on Amazon, and that is 7 pounds, I think, at the moment. And so that's a pretty good deal, 7 pounds to save you hundreds of pounds, potentially, in plants. That's a pretty good deal. I'll take the 7 pounds, please. Number 4. So number 4 might not be totally essential, but it's essential for me, and I use them freaking constantly. Jars. Little jars. If you want to propagate your plants in any sort of way, you need a vessel to put them in, to put water in, if you want to water propagate specifically. I do because I like watching roots grow, but if you want that possibility in your life to like double, triple, quadruple, quintuple the amount of plants you have in your life, propagation is an important thing. So jars are essential. So you gotta cut your cuttings, fill the jar with water, stick this in like a fairly warm, sunny area, and bam, plants grow roots in time. Once there's roots, you put them in the soil, got a new plant, got a fuller plant, just more planty goodness, which is, I mean, ideal for all of us, I think. Yeah, so little jars, amazing. These ones specifically are also very kindly gifted from Koishi. Actually, I think they're intended to be apothecary jars, so they came with little lids on them so you could use them for storage or other stuff. But I personally use them for little propagation jars. Also, I like that they're amber colored because I have heard that the darker the glass of the bottle, the better your roots grow. I'm not sure if that's like a real thing or not, but if the internet says it's true, then it's true, right? They're also perfect. I have put an avocado pit on here. It has a root that is sticking out the bottom, and this is perfect because it just sits perfectly on top. I don't need toothpicks or anything because I don't have toothpicks. So I just stick this on here, it balances nicely, and I keep it full of water, and the roots are gonna grow up in here, and that's gonna be fantastic. So they're really good for all that kind of stuff. They come in different sizes from 50 millimeters like this to 2 liters, which is massive. This one here is about 250. This is good for like medium propagations. This 50 mil is great for these satin pothos right here. It just does the job. I have this golden pothos in a 100 milliliter, and I think it just fits nicely, and they look so freaking good on the shelf. These range in price from 12 pounds to 40 pounds depending on obviously the size, but if spending a lot of money on propagation jars isn't your vibe, totally fair. You can also reuse old glass jars from food things. I think these were pickles. This one was pesto. So you can reuse jars. I've just taken the labels off, which is a pain in the butt, but it does the job, but I don't think it looks quite as nice personally, but that is personal preference, and it's totally up to you and what you need for your life. But there are options available here in jars, but basically they're essential. Get jars because they're super useful. Number 5. Lastly, you all might think this is a bit of a rogue choice, but for someone who doesn't really have an outdoor space, I live in a city, I live in London, for those of you who don't know, and I live on the 2nd floor in a flat. And I have no balcony, no patio, no garden, so I have to do all of my planting inside, which totally fine. But sometimes it can be a bit of a mess, and that's why I use this. So this is just a basic wash bucket that you would use to like put soapy water in your sink. I use it as a kind of planting bucket. So instead of getting soil everywhere, which I mean I still kind of do, but like not nearly as much as I would if I didn't have this, I do all my soil stuff within this pot. So I am potting, I am watering, I'm doing all kinds of things in this bucket instead of on my counters, because it just makes it so much easier to clean up when you're done, and you don't have to worry about getting dirt everywhere, because that is just a pain and pretty much not worth it in my opinion. So I have this bucket, which is super easy and convenient. I think I got this for £2 from my local bits and bobs shop. You can buy them on Amazon as well, but I think they're a little bit more expensive, like £5. I'll link one down below if you want to get one of them, but you can buy them from, I think, most supermarkets and stuff too. They're pretty common, really good, super useful. I also use this to store all of my planty stuff because I have a whole bunch of jars and pots and my water meter and my fertilizers and stuff. I have them all and they kind of need a place to live, and so I put everything in the bucket and it just kind of acts as a carry-all for all of my planty stuff, so it lives in like one tidy place instead of just scattered around the flat. So most of all, it's just super convenient, and I can't live without it because I don't like cleaning. This solves the problem, doesn't it? So that's it. Those are my top 5 totally essential, definitely needed indoor houseplant, home gardening, urban inside house gardening tools. Things that I use on a nearly daily basis. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on things you'd like me to talk about, and subscribe, and make sure you click the little bell thing to make sure you get notifications about when I post videos. Follow me on Instagram, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye! Oh, the sun. Frick. Go away again. Pick a side. Like, really, just do one or the other, because I don't like you doing both.